Thanks for tuning in to the Raising Smart Kids podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share us with a friend and head on over to iTunes and leave us a review there and let us know you're enjoying the show. If you're looking for more tips on raising smart kids, head to Amazon.com and pick up a copy of my first book, Raising a Superhero: How to Unleash Your Child's 8 Superpowers and Propel Learning Through the Arts. Thanks for allowing me to be your guide on this parenting adventure, and I look forward to catching you next time. Welcome back to the Raising Smart Kids podcast. This is Yang Pratt, and in episode number 15, we discussed how you could ignite your child's creativity through storytelling. Today, we have a similar topic to discuss. We're going to take stories one step further and talk about acting with your kids and the many benefits this art form has for your kids and for you. The good thing about acting is that you can do it anytime and anywhere with nothing more than your voices. You could even use pantomime, like playing charades, to act out a scene. When I think back to my experiences in school, I remember acting, or simply the act of standing up and giving a presentation, to be extremely scary. Getting up in front of an audience and delivering lines or a presentation became somewhat of a nightmare for me. I would always get so nervous with everyone's eyes on me because it felt really uncomfortable. To this day, I distinctly remember not at all enjoying playing the part of Aunt Polly in my 4th grade production of Tom Sawyer. It felt odd to me to pretend to be somebody else, especially in front of an audience. 4th grade should be an age where kids should be encouraged to use their imaginations and continue to pretend. Even freshman year in college, I remember that my public speaking class was certainly not one that I looked forward to at all. I dreaded having to write speeches, especially on topics of someone else's choosing, and then having to stand in front of a class for 5 to 10 minutes with everyone's eyes on me and talk. Now that I look back, I have to laugh. I'm glad I had those experiences and can now see them through new eyes. Those crazy butterflies I felt before taking to the stage reinforced that I was truly scared to do something, and I know now that facing those fears has made me a stronger person and the person I am today. As an adult, my fear of public speaking continued. Though I didn't feel any fear teaching my classes every week, those feelings of fear resurfaced in public settings like emceeing my own dance concerts. For some reason, I was more than confident enough to take to the stage and dance in front of thousands of people and become different characters over the years. However, having to speak intentionally in front of those same audiences was another game entirely. Interestingly, public speaking is one of the top fears of adults. I've spoken to many adults, and they would rather be hit by a car or endure some other gruesome event rather than to stand in front of a group of people and speak. Does this scenario ring true for you? To address my own fears of public speaking, I joined a local Toastmasters group. Through Toastmasters, I learned about putting a speech together and tips for presentation and delivery. Though I still get nervous before a speech, I can say that I'm certainly more comfortable with the idea of presenting in front of other people. What I've learned through Toastmasters is that public speaking and acting are 2 parts of the same puzzle. Public speaking requires the skill of assuming a new character, one that conveys the emotions and body language of the speech to be delivered. The main difference I see is that most of the time, public speakers don't generally put on the elaborate costumes or makeup that an actor might do for a production. There are some speaking opportunities, though, in Toastmasters, like storytelling or tall tales, that could certainly require a costume. I'm here to say that Toastmasters is an amazing organization that helps even the most novice and timid individuals to transform into competent speakers. When I think about the many skills I've learned in Toastmasters, I feel like the skill of public speaking is extremely underutilized, especially in schools and in the workplace. It's not often that kids are allowed to express themselves and continue to use their imaginations in productive ways at school. The same thing could be said about us adults. I feel like the skill of public speaking and acting give kids and adults an edge in life. If we as parents can foster the skills of public speaking in our kids as they grow and develop, they'll be better suited to deal with the challenges thrown at them. Now, I am a firm believer that having the confidence to take to the stage, whether as an actor, musician, or a dancer, is a skill that we all must have, or a skill that we need to develop. With our changing economy and new opportunities every day, like podcasting, having the confidence to present ourselves to others becomes even more important. Building this confidence is one of the many reasons why I chose to open up a performing arts school and why, 13 years later, I am still so passionate about what I do. Now that you have a better understanding of the importance of public speaking and acting for you and your kids, I'd like to share an idea you can use at home or really anywhere to foster these skills. My favorite way to act and teach my kids about public speaking is through something called storybook theater. Like its name implies, you're going to be using stories to create a theatrical event. Whether you choose to read pre-written stories or make them up with your kids, you can take the process of reading to a much higher level. By becoming the characters rather than simply just reading about them, literature seems to take on a magical quality. You could even dream up and assemble simple costumes from items found around the house. A random scarf, pencil, or utensil could easily become costumes and props. Blankets and sheets can be transformed into backdrops and scenery. While the process of acting with your kids may feel a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, you'll soon come to discover its joy. If you do have feelings of reservation about acting with your kids, ask yourself why you're uncomfortable. Is it because acting was not encouraged in your home or at school? Or perhaps you had a negative experience in public speaking. Once you address your personal issues head-on and jump into the process with both feet, I'm sure this will become a personal favorite. I know that I certainly enjoy watching and even participating in plays and stories with my kids. It brings me great satisfaction that my kids can work cooperatively and create stories and plots that could rival many published works. Think about all the positive memories you're building with your kids and encourage them to continue using ideas from storybook theater as they grow. As they get older, the confidence to speak and act should become stronger, not diminish. Acting out the characters in a book can inspire new ideas, new storylines, or even new books that can easily be published these days. This activity is great at engaging problem-solving skills and gets kids to think critically, not just linearly. What I mean is that it teaches them to think of new possibilities and conclusions, and not just remembering how a story was written verbatim. Acting also teaches kids to cooperate and communicate better with others, as well as learning to express their ideas openly. I feel that inspiring my kids to think about new possibilities and thinking outside the box are responsibilities that we as parents can be proud to encourage. Helping our kids grow their minds through acting and developing into confident, creative, and productive citizens that are also fantastic communicators is what we dream of for our kids. Acting and public speaking just happen to be one of the many vehicles to get them there. Acting with our kids will also help us adults to expand our thinking and continue to grow.
Thanks for tuning in to the Raising Smart Kids podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share us with a friend and leave us a review here on iTunes. Be sure to head over to artsmartparenting.com for free updates to help you raise a smarter kid through the arts. And if you're looking for more ways to propel your child's learning, join me each Wednesday for a free live webinar where you'll discover how your child learns best, how to supercharge learning, and the often hidden mismatch between teaching, testing, and your child. Sign up today at artsmartparenting.com and click on the Live tab. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes where I'll be sharing tips and tricks to incorporate the arts into your already busy schedule, and expert interviews with artists, educators, and entrepreneurs on how the arts can help you raise a smarter kid. Until next time, I'm Yang Pratt, your partner in raising smart kids.